Hey friends, this is Michael Golzmane here. I want to start off by saying that I'm not a medical doctor, and this is not meant to be construed as medical advice or to substitute for the care of a licensed healthcare practitioner. This is simply meant to be spiritual advice and to be perhaps an adjunct or some ideas that you can use in your process to perhaps spiritually transcend the need for a cancer condition to manifest in your physical being, or if you're currently dealing with this condition, this type of approach may help you to be able to clear the spiritual root of the condition, which I think can only be helpful in your healing process. So I've often said that and heard it said that conditions that are labeled incurable often mean that the condition has to be cured from within. And I think it's actually a wonderful blessing, though of course there's a tremendous amount of suffering around these kinds of conditions in the world today. However, I think from a spiritual evolutionary perspective, it is a great blessing that we are seeing many complex conditions coming around today, especially cancers and things, because it's causing us to have to not simply bypass the condition through something that would seem to be a band-aid approach from our medical establishment. For instance, if someone has a headache, a mild headache, or a cold, they might take some sort of pharmaceutical for it, not really think much about it after that point. For conditions like cancer, it's not really possible to do that. We have to be able to go within, and we have to look at the unresolved issues in our soul's history, perhaps, in our minds and our emotions. And yes, this video is around talking about our past lives, to be able to help to heal these conditions. So everything that occurs in the physical world, whether it's in our physical body, or whether it's in our world of experience, say in relationship or career or finances or other things that seem external to us, always emerge from the internal. They somehow have started as a thought or as an idea in our consciousness at some level. And this is true of health conditions like cancer as well. There may be many physical causes that we can identify. We might, for instance, there are very few physical causes I think that Western medicine has really allowed to come to the forefront, some of which might be exposure to certain toxins, for instance. There may be many causes that we can find in the physical, and not to put those causes down. It is important for us to deal with the physical causation as well. However, if we're looking to really transcend the need for the condition, I use that word need as a spiritual need somehow for our own evolution. We may have attracted this condition because at some level this is the way we've chosen to resolve certain unresolved issues in our soul's history. So if we want to transcend the need for the condition, or if we've already manifested this kind of condition, it's important for us to have a few ideas or tools to be able to look at what might be the spiritual causes. And when I say spiritual, I really refer to all non-physical energies, thoughts, emotions that we're having now, that we've had in the past, and that, yes, we've had in the thousands of past lives that we've had. There are many books and spiritual teachers and holistic healers who work a lot with the mental emotional process of helping to sort of untie the cancer condition in the body. You've heard probably many people talk about cancer can be the result of repressed anger, of much self-hatred, of unresolved issues, for instance, like past abuses, for instance, or from always putting other people ahead of ourselves. These, I think, are true. However, it can also feel like it's somehow not a complete story to simply look back at what we can remember based on our physical birth until now, to be able to determine where are these issues. Many people have hatred, many people have anger, many people have unresolved issues with their parents. So why me? Is this issue more extreme in my case? Why would it manifest in cancer in my particular body but not somebody else's? Again, I don't think anything happens randomly, nor are you being punished, or is anyone being punished by a sort of a punitive deity or some sort of malicious entity in the heavens who's trying to get back at you for something you've done wrong. Not at all, absolutely not. However, the unresolved issues that we have in our own soul's history are really their own punishment. This is sort of the law of karma, and this is what I mean by the term karma, is that really, if we look at, and just if you are not totally open to this idea yet, just for the sake of argument, let's talk about this for a minute, that we may have had thousands and thousands of previous lifetimes here on Earth. They may have been in other realms, other dimensions. They may be long, they may be short, but they're much like they are here, where we have experiences, we have relationships, we have interactions. And it's not so much that the experiences create discordant energy for us, it's really our own beliefs, perceptions, judgments, our own held energies that we take and don't process, don't release oftentimes. We sometimes aren't even aware of these energies. They're often subconscious. We take these energies from challenging circumstances, and then a day goes by, a week goes by, a month goes by. We don't remember the energy, the anger, the hatred, the betrayal that we felt from the circumstance. But neither have we cleared it. The energy has become what psychologists call repressed or suppressed within our being. So what happens then is that sometimes, if we're lucky, sometimes, it's not really about luck, but sometimes what will happen is that the energy, we'll begin to attract people and circumstances into our life that will help to trigger the energy again. Say we've taken on a lot of anger and we've never really dealt with it around a certain circumstance, we've kind of pushed it below the surface. Well, say a week later, we meet someone who really triggers us into feeling angry. This is probably at some level because this idea of the law of attraction means that at some level of our being, this vibration of anger is going on within us. And so we need a person to come into our life to help to bring it forward, to trigger it, so that we can have a choice about, we can bring it forward and we can have a choice about, how am I going to deal with it now? Am I going to add on to all the anger that I had previously? Am I just going to repress it, suppress it, walk away? Am I going to blame? Am I going to shame myself or the other person? Or this is a call to awakening. Am I going to open and say, wow, I don't want to really feel, I have all this anger within me. I know that I have to do something with this if it's going to shift. And so we might be prompted into a more spiritual orientation of forgiveness. And to me, doesn't mean not feeling the anger. It doesn't mean pretending the anger isn't there. It doesn't mean pretending somebody else didn't hurt us. It means being willing to go through our process to help us really release the pain that we're carrying around. So emotional pain, as it gets repressed, as it gets suppressed, becomes physical pain over time. If we give ourselves a lot of time, and in my spiritual research I've really found we've each had thousands and thousands of lifetimes. And there's a lot of pain that's happened in those lifetimes because we've been less conscious even than we are now, and we've repressed a lot of emotion during that time. So we talk about emotional pain. Emotional pain over time, as we don't deal with it, becomes densified, as I call it. It becomes more densified into the physical body. And depending on the type of emotional pain, depending on the circumstances, our unique soul's history, it can become densified in certain ways. And cancer is one of those ways. Depending on where the cancer is in the body or what type of cancer it is, that can often have a specific energetic correlation to what the energy or what the unique configuration of energy is for us. So what are some of the spiritual, emotional underpinnings of cancer? Well, it's really deep hatred. Hatred of others is always mirrored in hatred of ourselves. So we think, oh, I just hate that other person. Well, you also hate yourself, because everything that we send out to others is always carbon copied or CC'd in our modern email terminology. It's CC'd back into our ourself, back into our body. We always hold on to a copy of whatever we send out. So deep hatred, past life abuse and present life abuse, past life torture. And this is getting a little bit graphic here, but we've heard stories and read history about people who have been tortured, especially even in our modern era. Well, those people, as they die, they take those energetic imprints with them. The only thing that dies when we physically die is the physical body, not the rest of us. The rest of us is fully remembered as to what we've experienced in the course of that lifetime. So I want to say that by the time something gets into the physical body, into a physical health condition like a cancer, it's been really developing within our soul consciousness for probably a very, very, very long time. And so there can be many, many layers to this. This can be one reason why, if bringing someone through one forgiveness process, for instance, around their mother, around their father, around some perpetrator in that they can recall from their past, may not clear the decks entirely for someone. We may need to go deeper into the process. And this is sort of what I have been working with people on, is helping to identify with the power of spirit, to be able to identify and clear from the soul's history the past and present life, unresolved emotional, karmic, spiritual issues that are causative to these kinds of health conditions. It's very interesting. I'll give you an example. Working with people recently, I use dowsing in my work. I use a pendulum and dowsing, and it's very, very useful to be able to have some facility with that technique, because you can then ask spirit percentage questions frequently and get really interesting answers. Many people who come to me to work with me, whether it's a cancer condition or not, I often ask spirit, what is their percentage at the current moment of anger that they are having as just a total vibration? It could be their conscious feeling, it could be a subconscious feeling, it could be what they're holding in their body. Many people start off sessions at about 100%. And they come to me often because they're feeling worry, they're feeling fear, they're feeling anxiety. They're maybe having a health condition, they're having a relationship condition, they're having a financial condition. It could be showing up in different types of symptoms in their lives. But it's very interesting to note, as we're able to go into resolving the energy that's come up in their soul during the course of the clearing, we can continually check with spirit to see where is their, what I call their anger quotient, where is that during the course of the session. It often goes from 100 to 80 to 50 to 30 and often to 0. This means that we're actually working with spiritual clearing to help resolve and clear out the unresolved energies, creating this intensification of energy. It could be anger, it could be hatred, it could be vengefulness often comes up. If there's been past life violence or past life murder, this comes up frequently in clearings. You can imagine, just for sake of argument, even if you don't believe everything I'm saying to you, you can imagine for sake of argument, say you were killed in a past life, say you were murdered in a past life. Well, if what I'm saying is true, that the physical body is the only thing that dies, at that moment, all of that trauma, all of the causative energy that's gone into that situation, it's probably some sort of unresolved energy with the person perpetrating it, all of that pain in the physical body, depending on where, how the physical death occurred, is retained by the soul. It's not cleared in the course of that lifetime generally. You pull back from the physical body at the time of your death, and all your emotional bodies and your minds and your subconscious mind, your soul records, your Akashic records store this energy. And then through the process of working with your angels and guides between lifetimes, you choose, how do I want to help resolve this energy in another lifetime? And it's even possible that you may have chosen to come through into this lifetime with some sort of cancer condition. Again, not as a punishment. If you find yourself reacting to me saying that, just know this is not meant to be a blame or shame thing. This might be a very empowering statement to say that, wow, this is the way you really wanted to resolve all of this hatred, perhaps torture, perhaps murder, anger, all of this unresolved energy. So some people want to make it really unavoidable for themselves. They bring it up into a condition in the physical body. It could be as an autoimmune condition, it could be a cancer condition, it could be an inflammation condition, it could be some other thing. Again, spiritually speaking here. And this helps them to remember, oh, I really wanted to heal this particular part of my spirit in this course of this lifetime. And so having a condition like this allows them to be able to do that. So I want to let you know, as sort of the conclusion of this video, that there is hope for you, that adding spiritual clearing work, and of course conscious mind work around forgiveness and around release, doing this emotional, mental, and spiritual work can be extremely valuable when it comes to releasing the potential. Conditions do not have to manifest if you're able to clear them in advance. If you're in the midst of a condition now, even if it seems very severe, it is very worthwhile. Even if the condition, certainly I cannot guarantee that a condition can be fully cleared, but every step you take along the way is valuable to your soul's evolution and is valuable to your path. I think is ultimately valuable to your health. And it's the reason why, nothing happens randomly in this universe. This is not meant to be a platitude to say that. It's simply meant to say, oh, without blame, without shame, I can realize that if we're able to get to this place, that this condition in my life, whether it's cancer, whether it's an autoimmune issue, whether it's inflammation, whether it's simply a cold, whether it's a situation around poverty or lack of money, or a situation around career, or a situation around divorce or relationship, this situation has been brought to me for some part of the evolution of my soul. What is the lesson I'm here to learn? What am I supposed to get from this? Those questions are going to serve you very highly in your healing process. If I can be of service to you, check in with you, help you, and serve you in any way, please feel free to click below this video to my website, clearingconnect.com. Check me out, connect with me. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks for watching this video, friends. I hope it's been useful to you. Peace and blessings to you. Bye-bye.